गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Harihi Om. We welcome you today for this program titled Heart to Heart Inspiring Messages. And this program is totally dedicated to Pujya Gurudev. In this program, we are interviewing few very close devotees of Pujya Gurudev and also knowing that how Pujya Gurudev's teaching helped their life to completely transform and do their best in lot many fields as well as endures whatever they have taken. Now, let me introduce to myself. I am Swami Prakarshananda, presently serving at Chinmaya Center of World Understanding, New Delhi. Now let me introduce our guest. He is a scientist and analyst, Dr. A.T. Reghunath. At present, he is Chinmaya Vani coordinator in Chinmaya Mission, Delhi. No doubt, he has done so best in his professional career as a scientist, as an analyst, when he was working with Government of India, New Delhi. But more than that, he is an ardent devotee of Pujya Gurudev. Before we start our discussion, let us chant Pujya Gurudev's few names from his Namavali. You all can join with us. Om Jagadatmane Namaha. Om Jagat Sakshine Namaha. Om Janapriyaya Namaha. Om Jitendriyaya Namaha. Om Jiva Brahmaikyavide Namaha. Om Jivan Muktaya Namaha. Om Jirna Mandirodharakaya Namaha. Om Tapovana Shishaya Namaha. Om Tapasvine Namaha. Om Tapanashanaya Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om Raghu.
Hari Om.
I am so happy to have you here today. And Raghu, your association with Pujya Gurudev was from childhood. And can you please share your childhood experience of meeting Pujya Gurudev and feeling at that time?
Hari Om Swamiji, thanks for calling me here. I had my childhood in a place called Tirur in Kerala.
Yes, so our Pujya Gurudev's home state, we can call it as.
Home state, yes, certainly. As I was thinking about that, one gentleman came to that town and started something called Chinmaya Mission.
Acha.
And then he got hold of some ammas to start some classes for the children, what was called Bala Vihar, and we were all pushed into that.
Oh, that's so nice. That means you started your Bala Vihar so early.
Yes, that was in 66 and I was 8 years old. That time.
Wow.
And then in the Bala Vihar we had some chanting in the local vernacular. And so one day this man came and told that Swami Chinmayananda is coming to our town, and therefore we would like to arrange some competitions so that the children can be given some prizes. So they found
so Raghu,
that, yeah?
just a bit, can you just recollect what is that year? What can be?
67. Then they arranged some competition so that we had some 3 Bala Vihars, all put together some 20, 25 children. If you group them.
Good number.
Yeah. And they arranged some competitions. One was Gita chanting, one was elocution for seniors, and storytelling for juniors. Gita chanting was common for all.
Wow.
Anybody can participate. It so happened I participated for the Gita chanting and for the storytelling since I was a junior in that group, and I got prize for Gita chanting, the 3rd prize.
Wow.
And for storytelling, 2nd prize. So 2 prizes were given by Gurudev in that town, and that place, that day, actually it was Vijayadashmi day. That's a special day for that particular town, because all over from Kerala, they bring children there to initiate the learning, what we call Vidya Abhyas,
Right.
Vidya Arambham.
Mm-hmm.
So Vijayadashmi is considered as
very auspicious
day for that, and that day the entire crowd assembled there, and in that crowd I was given the prizes. 2 books it was. One was on Swami Vivekananda, and he was very happy to to give that particular book. Oh, this is Vivekananda. I was very young.
So Gurudev was there in that program.
Gurudev gave me that.
Wow. So good.
If you ask me how I felt that time, I didn't feel much about it, but everybody at home, they were very thrilled. I was not able to appreciate the event that way.
Yeah, because
but when as I grew up and I look back, I realized that is one of the major event that happened to me.
And the second question which comes to my mind, that after your this association from Bala Vihar, you must have listened to him in your young days, like college days. How was that shift?
From that place we had to shift out from there. For my father expired, and therefore just for information, my father was a treasurer of the local Chinmaya Mission when he died. It was in 72. Yeah.
I see.
He was 14 years old.
So he was also very much associated with
they had a study group.
Right.
And in the entire town there was one Holy Gita copy. Those days it was in 3 parts. So he was comfortable with English and Sanskrit a bit. So he was a wanted person in the study group.
Right.
So that's all. And after BSc I came to Cochin University for MSc. There when I was studying, I came to know that Swami Chinmayananda's Gita Jnana is there in Ernakulam. That was in 1980 April.
I see.
So then I thought, yeah, this is the person who gave me so much recognition. And my father, I have father's notes. He admired Gurudev. He had notes of all the Holy Gita, sloga by sloga in his notebook. I still have them.
Great. So great.
So I thought such a person who was inspired by father and I was looking up to this person to meet him. So when the Gita Jnana was announced in Ernakulam, during those days I went there.
So Raghu, then next question comes to my mind, because as I know, you were for some time a coordinator, a regional coordinator for a Chinmaya Yuva Kendra. So you were attending some classes also, like Chinmaya Yuva Kendra classes. And what text you studied?
82 and 85 there was a yajna of Gurudev in Ernakulam. And after the 85 Yajna, I started going for the CHI classes, Chinmaya Yuva Kendra classes there. I had one of my friend also, together we were working for the PhD almost on the same lines.
Right.
So both of us were very keen on attending those classes.
So you joined the classes.
Yeah.
And what text you studied and what was the effect that time?
Well, those days we were more into self-unfoldment, manual of self-unfoldment.
Yeah, manual of self-unfoldment.
And I would say that is enough for one person.
Gurudev has explained so well everything in that.
It ends into that ultimate limit. It starts from basics, but
Yes.
it takes you to, if one read that, nothing else is required. I may say some more book like that, but self-unfoldment is complete.
Yeah, because Gurudev's every work was so complete. And can I ask you, what was the effect of reading those books or going through the book and studying the book in those young days for you and your friends also?
Now, in Delhi, when I joined the career, this knowledge was there at the back.
Right. So my next question was that only, that how this knowledge of scriptures helped you in your professional career, because you have done such a great job as a scientist and analyst in a very prestigious institute. So can you please share your ideas?
If you read I Love You, the I Love You letters,
Gurudev's book.
Gurudev's book, then it gives, when you love somebody, then you will be able to think from his shoes, something which means love. You will be able to see the views from the other person. So that is the thing that helps. When issue comes, when somebody comes with a problem, then if you are able to see it from his point, then we are able to solve it to his satisfaction. As I went to my office, went to my research in the Defense Research and Development Organization. Initially, it was all pure research and science only, but over the years, I was into a lot of management also.
I see.
So our decisions affects a lot of people when you are in the management side. If you are the technical side, that's fine. Your decisions affects only the technical things.
I can understand. The management side is much sensitive.
Yeah. So along with that, I was doing some management which affects the entire lab.
I see.
So every day I had somebody's problems in front of me, almost for a long time. So to solve those issues, we were able to think from another person's view.
Right.
And if I can stretch this answer a little more, Swami Ishwarananda was the secretary in Bangalore when I left there. So once there was a yajna, after I left Bangalore to Delhi, there was a yajna in Bangalore, and he told the story, and he was planning to join the ashram.
That means Vedanta course.
Vedanta course, and when the Gurudev's yajna was over, he told Gurudev that now let me be relieved. I am to join the course. So another few more months are only there. Let somebody else take over. So Ishwarananda says, Gurudev told him, don't leave now. And he told Brahmaji, don't relieve him. You relieve him only when he boards the train to Bombay. Because otherwise somebody will think that something gadbad happened in the yajna and therefore he was removed. See the way that thought goes for an action.
Yes.
This somehow got into my mind. So any action, any change that we are implementing in our office, this thought comes. If somebody is doing something, then he is to be, his future or his image is to be protected.
So good. So good.
So somehow this was helping me a lot in that.
I see. And as your association is so long, so you have listened to Pujya Gurudev's Bhagavad Gita as well as other texts also. So can I ask you which text is most dear to your heart?
I Love You letters.
That's Raghu. I'm surprised, but that's fantastic.
There is a problem with that book. It is written I love you letters to children in brackets.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, the youth and the elders, they normally don't open that.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
They gift it to children. But that is enough. That one book is enough to deal with the world, to be peaceful, to reach the highest. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything is packaged in that.
Yeah, that's true, because I have also read the book, and that book is, we can call it as so complete in itself. And as I just mentioned before, that Gurudev, every work is so complete that, once you read or once you see his any sort of video, you feel just blessed and you just feel complete. Raghu, I have an interesting question to ask you. Pujya Gurudev used to have lot of Gita Gyan Yajna, and I am sure that you have attended lot of Gita Gyan Yajnas. So can you please tell us which is a chapter of Bhagavad Gita which is dear to you and why?
That's a tough question. I have attended in 9, 7 and probably 3 and 13. 13 was the last one.
So chapter number 3, chapter number 7, chapter number 9 and chapter number 13.
13.
I think Pujya Gurudev used to do these chapters as in Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Yajnas, lot.
Lot frequently, yeah, that's right, that's right. Yeah, some chapters are done more, yeah.
Yeah.
His last yajna in Delhi was chapter 13. And for me, that was the first yajna in Delhi.
Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogo Nama.
Yeah. So that is something which I would answer, which influenced, which has got deep impression in me. I would answer.
Right.
Chapter 13.
Right.
Apart from the 20 values,
which is enumerated there,
etc.
Yeah.
It also talks about the Jnanam, Jnaya, Prakriti, Purusha.
Right.
So the
Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Prakriti, Purusha, Jnanam and Jnayam.
Right. So these 20 values is said to be Jnana.
Yes.
That's what he
yes,
defined.
so correctly said.
And then leaving that, he is talking about the absolute.
Yes.
And unqualified Niragara Durguna Brahman also in the subsequent.
Right.
That comes to my mind.
So that, portion was most dear to your heart. Right. So nice. And now I would like to ask you that you were involved, no doubt about it, but your family was also equally involved, like, your wife and your daughter. So can you please just share some experiences as a family close to Pujya Gurudev?
Okay. I got married in 93. 93 February. And then brought her in March here in Delhi. And that March, after 2 weeks, Gurudev was visiting Delhi. So we went there, it was in Patel Amma's house. I normally kept a distance with him. I didn't go very close to him and pour out my problems.
But that I can understand, because you are such a, soft person, and I can understand as an introvert, but you do your job so well every moment, every time.
Thank you. So when he came, we together went and did Namaskar. So I didn't tell that I got married. I had sent him the invitation. He knew. He knew that I had married, and he was doing something. So we went and prostrated. Then some ammas told, Swamiji, Raghu and his newly wedded wife. So he told, don't quarrel. That's all.
But Raghu,
and we are yet to start that.
Oh my God! But what a great message by Pujya Gurudev, that don't quarrel. And did you follow it?
That's what I'm telling. We are yet to start that.
Oh, that's so nice. And one more question, Raghu. Yeah, in Chinmaya Mission Delhi, as I know from last so many years, your work is so dedicated And I see that whenever you take it up, then you just complete it and never give up any time by any chance.
You asked me, you told me you are very dedicated and concentrated. That's actually from Gurudev only. The way he looks at you, suppose if you happen to get that look, then nothing else existed other than these two people for him. And for us also. So that's a, what we call the Tishnara of his.
Piercing
Yes.
view. And I also have this thought now that, Gurudev has written a lot of quotations, and we keep, applying those quotations in our life. So which of the Pujya Gurudev's quotation is dear to your heart and why?
Okay. Quotations, let me take some time probably, but I will tell you what is deep impressions on me
Right.
about his teachings. One is from the lesson course which I did in those days, the Preya and Sreya.
Acha.
Every individual, he is at any moment of time, he is given and he is facing an option of not something good and bad, but something which is very pleasant and something which will be good.
Great.
So that choice normally.
So path of pleasure
and
path of good.
Good. The Preya and Sreya.
Yeah.
So how do we, at this moment, probably we may not know where this is leading to. It may not be very clear.
Yeah,
that-
you mean to say, in the beginning you may not know which path leads where.
Yeah.
I see.
So the description given for the paths is one is very pleasant looking flowery path,
Yeah.
and the other is a tough path. That's the way
Right.
the description is. So you apply that. When a choice is given, avoid the shortcuts and go for the hard stuff.
Oh.
So this had worked very well for me.
So if I understand your answer like, no shortcuts in life, but whatever hardship comes, you have to face and go ahead.
Right. That's the that is one of the deep impression that I had from the lessons that I learned from there.
And I can see in your life that from a small place of Kerala, you have really come up and you have settled down in Delhi, and your family is a complete peaceful family, which I know, and continuously in the service of Pujya Gurudev. That's the great blessings. Yeah, so thank you, Raghu, for coming here, and thank you for this nice experiences which you have shared with all of us.
Yeah.
So let us chant Pujya Gurudev name and take his blessings. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Shri Sadgurave Namaha. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
And when the door opened and we came in there, he see us from there, and there were many people usually sitting around him, and you say like loudly, exuberantly, Juju, that's my pet name, and Bibi, that's her pet name.
Oh, I see.
And with his arms open out, so it's a very loving figure. And we used to go there shyly, and he used to give us a big hug. And my earliest memory, or one of the early memories, is his pokey beard on my face, but it was a loving, pokey beard, that was full of love.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhushcha sakha tvameva. त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव